All right, so we'll start at the front of the boat here and kind of work our way around, and I'll show you a virtually rigged boat. It's not going to be 100% as it would for a river trip, but I'll include some photos of what it looks like. Here on the front, Carl, the chicken, he gets a front row seat. And then my bow rope. What I did for my bow and stern ropes was I made my perimeter line, or chicken line. Got that set first, and then the leftover I used for bow and stern lines. There's about 10 to 15 feet on each end of leftover, so that's what we use there. As we come around, I've got all of my boxes stenciled so I know what's in them. I've got two bow boxes, one's on the other side, you'll see in a second. And what I've done with the bigger boxes here is I've tried to balance them out for weight to keep each side of the boat as equal as possible. And NRS drag bags, this is for the people up front, and then I've got one back there for the captain's seat on the other side. The other little nuance here for the front of the boat is Downriver Equipment has made some awesome beverage holders, and so there's 3 of those on the boat, one for each front passenger and one for the captain. Medical box you guys saw in a previous video, all the stuff I keep in there, various straps of widths and lengths. My oar tethers are in there too that you won't see today. Every time I go down to any kind of big whitewater trip, the oars are always tethered in. And then my ash box and groover box are sitting there. And then for sake of demonstration, we mentioned that the gearbox will get any various things that you want to strap on. Each of those is held in by 2 6-foot loop straps on the back of the boat. The flip line, the rig to flip lines that are keeping each box are also loop straps. Can't speak highly enough of a loop strap. They are highly valuable and love them a lot. And then in the gear pile, this is where the visualization is going to come in. I've taken 2 9-foot 1.5" NRS straps and I've crisscrossed them. So in the bottom of the boat, I start with the Cascade River Gear duffel bag, mesh duffel bag. That usually holds all the power aids for the trip, anything that I don't mind if it gets wet. That rides in the bottom of the boat. Then the gear bags go in on top of that. These will crisscross over the gear bags and yeet down on those so you can keep those nice and secure and snug. On the back of the boat, my chicken line is in 2 separate pieces, one for the left side, one for the right side. And when I set it up, I started at the front, ran it through all of the D-rings down the side of the boat. As I went, pulled them tight, and then until I got down here to the end, and put everything on a trucker's hitch so it pulls it nice and tight, so you don't you run the less risk of a foot entrapment or arm entrapment if somebody falls out. On the back of the boat here is my other, well, in this case, stern line. I will usually pull into shore, drop the passengers off, spin the boat around, and run the back of the boat up to shore so it's easier to unload all the gear. In this bag, there's 2 sections of 50-foot rope, so that if I have an area or situation where I can't reach with a combination of the bow and stern line, I can get up 50 feet, technically 100 feet, to the sand stake or some object that's going to keep the boat secure. One thing I haven't done on this demo or this video is pulled my oars out. This would not be the standard anchor point for this side. I would usually run it through this D-ring here and pull everything tight that way. The stove box and the charcoal box are those ones right there. And then for my personal captain's box or whoever's rowing the boat, just personal items, wallet, keys, phone, things that stay dry in there as well. Up front here, my water jug is currently out at elk camp, so I don't have it here to show you, but the 5-gallon water jug that you'd see at like kids parties, a 5-gallon thing with a little spigot at the bottom, that rides there. And if I was also going to take a second one, I could rig in a 7-gallon blue jerry can here. And then one of the last things up here in front, on top of the snack cooler box, you'll notice that this one's also strapped in, rigged to flip. And then I just clipped in a Type 4 throwable flotation device. Works really good for a seat pad too. This year I tried something different for my cooler, And I've strapped in my Paco pad to give it some more insulation from the sun and elements, and it helps keep the ice longer. And probably I got probably another day and a half, almost 2 days of ice retention just by putting that Paco pad up there. And then the oarsman's dry bag, or excuse me, float bag, drag bag is right there. And every state now, or most every state's got your aquatic invasive species stickers. That's the one for Wyoming, as you can tell. The Idaho one is on the frame in the front on the other side. My throw bag sits there on oarsman's left, and then the second Cascade River Gear mesh gear tote, those hold the fun things. That's got the water sprayers and squirt guns and those kinds of things in it. So this is how I rig a boat for the most part, and I'll throw in some pictures of what it looks like going down the river, so that it kind of ties everything together. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. This is how we do the boat rigging. And one other thing on this gear pile back here, this mesh cargo net, what I'll do is I'll put 3 straps on the back, lay it over the groover, kitchen box, table, those other things that like big loose bulky items will go in here, and then I'll pull the cargo net over the top of that, and it'll hold everything down. Find any kind of anchor point you can, something that's not going to move on you, and that'll catch everything else. Sometimes if I do it just right, these straps on the last main salmon trip, they actually held the kitchen box in that sat right here as well, and then the groover sat on that tube on that side. Excuse me. And then the cargo net held everything else in. There's different options than this cargo net here, but one that won't cause a potential of as near as much of a foot or arm entrapment if you're falling out of the back of the boat, or if you have a passenger that's riding on the gear pile. Cascade River Gear and I believe Downriver Equipment all sell the suspended floors, and then the mesh bags that go over the top of it that you can't get your feet and arms stuck in. So that's another option as well. These are pretty popular, work great, multiple points of contact, so you can get things secured, strapped in nice and tight. So once again, like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Thanks.